Okay, here we go again. Today is a puzzling day for me. I have come to realize that my multiple sclerosis has entered a new normal, shall I say. Now, you'd think that after 30 plus years with this disease, I'd be used to this, but this time it's a little harder to get used to. Up until now, when it has taken a slice, it's been a slice that, well, it was a slice that didn't cut close to the bone. There was always a way to compensate for what was happening. I could use a little more willpower or a little more won't power, depending on what was needed. I could adjust what I could do or what I could enjoy, and it all worked quite nicely. But in the last year, I have gone blind twice and recovered. It wasn't a long blindness in either case. It was just a question of less than a minute both times, but it was there. Now, Sister Babeth, she went blind, and it lasted for a couple of weeks. That must have been truly frightening. My energy level is much lower than it was. I no longer drive. I have not got the ability to do fine motor skill things anymore, which is one of the reasons I'm visually blogging at this point. It's really hard to type. I am I have always, well, not always, but for about the last 12, 14 years, I've been using Taoist Tai Chi as a way to maintain what I could with my body and my spirit and my yin and my yang. And the problem is that I'm running out of the ability to do it. So my primary medicine, I guess for lack of a better term, is becoming unavailable to me. And that's awkward. So I am puzzled about how to correct for these problems. One of the interesting things about this is that I use the web to travel, where I used to use motorcycles, cars, planes, and boats. I now travel on the web. Of course, if you can't use your hands or your fingers very well, it's hard to manipulate around a computer. So I thought, no problem, I'll get voice capability. And I've got a nice little computer. I'll put out a recommendation for anybody that wants to get a good computer. I've got a Lenovo, and it works like a dream. And it's got voice capability. And then I found out a little problem. When my hands really don't work, it's because my MS is kicking in. And that means I'm slurring my words as well, which means voice doesn't work because it can't recognize me. There's a catch-22 for you. But now, to get down to where I'm going with this, yesterday my wife, known each other 25 years, been married for about 20, and I talked about this, and she asked me if I could live with it. And that was a serious question. She has known for many years that there is a limit to what I will allow myself to become, and she was curious if this was past the limit. And I thought about it all day, and I realized that it hadn't passed my limits yet. There's still many ways to lead a productive life. Well, a productive life that I think of as productive anyway. And I realized one of the important things to me at this point, and this will probably do my karma in my next life a lot of harm. But one of the things that came to mind after she asked me that question was, I can still aggravate my enemies. And I like that idea. When I was a pastor, I built my ministry around a couple of simple beliefs. One of them was to comfort the afflicted, and the other was to afflict the comfortable. I still want to do that. It's important to me because it means I'm fighting for justice, for the good cause, as it were. And I was out today in my yard. It's a nice yard. It's a garden for the most part, a temple. I like to think of it as one, dedicated to the goddess of mercy, butterflies, dragons, and peace. And I'm doing my meditative walk. And as I walk past the roses where the squash and the peppers are also growing, bell peppers, two of the most beautiful butterflies, one male and one female, were engaging in courtship rituals. And it was beautiful. It truly was to watch them. And before I went out, I found a movie on my Facebook page that had been posted by a very proud uncle about the birth of a child and how the child was growing. And I reshared that, and it was truly a beautiful movie about hope and love and potential. And I realized today that as much as I can't do what I want to do sometimes, or what I could do, I can still learn, I can still be involved, I can still find ways to help. And that's important to me. It is truly for me what life has evolved or devolved into. I suppose how you look at it. If I can do some good, I want to do it. And I still can. The fact that I can't walk as far as I used to, or I can't drive, or I can't do any number of things, well, that's okay. It would come to me anyway, even if I didn't have MS. It would come hopefully later than it has, because one of the joys of MS is that it ages you so darn quickly. I mean, when you're 30 and you age overnight to 50 or 60, it's no big deal, because 50 or 60, you can still do a lot. But I'm 60 now, and my physical age is probably close to 80 to 90. And that is a big deal. But it still goes on. It is not a question I have to remind myself. I mean, I suffer from the traditional human number one sport of engaging in self-pity now and again. And when I do that, I simply remind myself, mindfulness would be the term the Buddhist would use, that it is not a question of what I cannot do, it's a question of what I can do, and to find ways to enjoy it. Which is not a bad thing for many of us to remember, I would imagine. If you have a faith, if you follow a particular path or religion, here's a question for you. Does it allow you to lead a good life, here and now? I'm not talking about going to heaven or going to hell or making a lot of money or what have you. I'm asking, can you be happy? Can you find contentment? Can you find challenges? Can you find a meaning to your life that you don't have without it? And does that meaning show you ways to bring life and love to this world? If it does, I gotta like your faith. I gotta like your religion. And I gotta like your attitude. Okay, that's it. My cell phone just rang. Probably means my wife checking up on me. So I'm going to say good day for now. Have a good one. Remember, I love you. Bye-bye.